Although science fiction literature can be traced back as far as the 1600s, it's only in the last decade that we're finally starting to see more diversity in literature, and now, on screen. Welcome to the Multicultural Sci-fi Organization, MCSFO. Today we'll be looking at our pick of 10 black people leading in science fiction films. For this list, we're focusing on some of the strongest representations of black leading characters in a live-action sci-fi film. Number 10. Fahrenheit 451. What's a great story of excellence without a revolutionary? Michael B. Jordan's Guy Montag falls nothing short of that quality. Based on Ray Bradbury's classic novel, Montag is a fireman who goes about his work without question, believing that by following in his captain's footsteps, he is serving and protecting society. All this changes when he meets an informant named Clarice. Jordan initially thought twice before taking on the role due to Montag's oppressive and authoritative nature. He decided to move forward with the film, citing that he felt the art was more powerful and the movie's message was bigger than his view on police brutality.
You memorized all these books.
We each memorize one and then we become the book. I am Toni Morrison, Song of Solomon.
Number 9. After Earth. Continuing the spirit of great messages, it's not always about reviews and numbers. Representation is very powerful, and a story about a black father teaching his son valuable lessons on how to conquer his fears definitely represents. 1,000 years since the Earth has long been abandoned and humans have been in conflict with a mysterious alien race, General Cypher Rage and his son Katai find themselves fighting for survival after crash landing on a more dangerous planet Earth. If you take out all the negative energy surrounding the creators of the film, you're left with a great father-son man versus nature story, rarely seen in science fiction with African American actors.
Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity, Katai. Now, do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice.
Number 8. See You Yesterday. Teenagers are quietly taking over the world of science fiction, as evident with See You Yesterday, a story about two teenage science prodigies who spend every spare minute working on their latest homemade invention, backpacks that enable time travel. CJ Walker and her best friend Sebastian succeed in making a time machine when her brother Calvin is murdered by the police. CJ decides to go back in time to save her brother's life, but keeps complicating the past. Initially a short film in writer-director Stefan Bristol's thesis at NYU, See You Yesterday had 13 drafts before filming, guided by professor and mentor Spike Lee. With 2 nods at the 35th Independent Spirit Awards, it won the Best First Screenplay. Number 7. Kin. Personal history and background are essential to one's journey of self-discovery. But it can be tricky, especially when you find yourself in a foreign world and not even be aware of it. That is the life of Mouse Truett's Eli Selinsky. Eli finds a powerful otherworldly weapon, which he uses to save his older adoptive brother Jimmy from a crew of thugs. Before long, the two are also pursued by federal agents and mysterious mercenaries aiming to reclaim their asset. The movie also has the character Millie, played by Zoe Kravitz, who becomes a huge aid to the two brothers on their quest to escape and survive the world they live in. Number 6. Attack the Block. Long before Stranger Things was a group of streetwise valiant black teenagers battling a savage alien incursion, led by 19-year-old John Boyega's Moses. Moses is the unofficial leader of a gang in Brixton, South London, who is attacked by an alien but manages to kill it. When he decides to bring it back home, unknowingly attracting more aliens, he and his boys have to defend the block from these gnarly creatures.
Moses, Ninja, Tango neutralized.
Attack the Block is Boyega's breakout film before being cast on Star Wars as Finn. And writer-director Joe Cornish has been recently divulging that he and Boyega have been discussing ideas for potential Attack the Block 2. Fingers crossed. Number 5. Fast Color. As we keep embracing the spirit of representation, no movie has ever embraced the greatness of being a black woman like the 2019 family drama Fast Color, telling the story of 3 generations of women with superpowers. Hunted by mysterious forces, Gugumbata Ro's Ruth must go on the run when her powers are discovered. With nowhere else to go, she flees back to her family and the farmhouse she abandoned long ago. Although heavily represented on screen, Fast Color was underrepresented in Hollywood. Without an understanding of diversity and inclusion, this inspiring film received little to no marketing, proving there's still a lot of work left to be done in the industry. A TV series based on the film is in development, said to be produced by Juvie Productions, which is owned by Julius Tennant and the one and only Viola Davis. Number 4. We would be remiss if we didn't mention Vin Diesel's one and only Richard B. Riddick in the Pitch Black Riddick franchise. Joining a very small class of black leads in sci-fi back in 2000, Pitch Black was just the beginning. Our first introduction to this cat's-eyed convicted criminal was in the sci-fi thriller Pitch Black. Riddick is amongst the survivors of a deep space transporter that crash lands on a desolate planet full of bloodthirsty creatures. The second feature film in the series, Chronicles of Riddick, takes place 4 years after Pitch Black, reuniting survivor Jack, Imam, and Riddick to face the undead, Lord Marshall, and his Necromonger fleet. In the third installment of the series, Riddick is left for dead on a sun-scorched planet and finds himself once again up against an alien race of predators and bounty hunters. This film combines all the things we loved about the first and second films and guarantees an action-packed sci-fi thriller. Number 3. I Am Legend. Will Smith has been holding it down for people of color in science fiction for decades, starring in more science fiction films than any other black actor in history. And in I Am Legend, he holds the whole film down by himself. Will Smith's Robert Neville is a former US Army virologist who lost his wife and daughter at the height of the Manhattan quarantine and spends his existence trying to find a cure for the nocturnal mutants called the Darkseekers. I Am Legend is loosely based on Richard Matheson's classic novel of the same name. Its director's cut has some added or extended moments throughout the film and an alternate ending to the story than its theatrical release. Number 2. The Girl with All the Gifts. This young gifted black woman lives in a dystopian future and leads a scientist and a teacher on a journey of survival. In this book-to-film adaptation, Melanie's a 10-year-old held prisoner in a high-security research facility after the world is decimated by a fungal infection that turns humans into rotting cannibals. Aside from young Senia Nanua's Melanie, the film has a few other black actors including Anthony Welsh, Fisayo Akinade, and a name or face you may recognize, Dominique Tipper, who most may know as Naomi Nagata from The Expanse. Before we share our top pick, here's a look at some honorable mentions. Number 1. Alien vs. Predator. No better way to end this list than with the first African-American woman to lead in a science fiction film, Sanaa Lathan as Lex Woods. Lex Woods is an experienced guide who spent several seasons exploring Antarctic environments. During an archaeological expedition, Woods and a team of other scientists find themselves caught up in a battle between two legends, Soon, they realized that only one species can win. Not only was Lex Wood's character pivotal in the survival of mankind, but Sanaa Lathan's role in this film made a huge impact for women of color in science fiction. Like Blade Runner, Alien vs. Predator had lukewarm reviews during its release, but later became arguably the best film in the AVP franchise. Do you agree with our list? Do you have your own? Who makes your list of the black leads in sci-fi films? For more videos on the best top 10 lists in the world of science fiction, be sure to subscribe to MCSFO.